You know, much like anybody, I probably got a story that brings me, how I got to the Air Guard was not necessarily a show up to the recruiters and join the Air Guard. I started with the active duty Air Force back in December of 1982. I had the delayed entry program. From then I went to basic training in August of 1983. I spent about 2.5 years on active duty. I worked on F4s at Georgia Air Force Base in Victorville, California. And I had a guy come into the shop one day, my mentor, and he says, "Yeah, I'm leaving and I'm going to join the Air National Guard." I said, "What's this Air National Guard you speak of?" And anyway, so I got the phone book out because there was no internet. I called the aircrew life support shop here at Home and Field, and they agreed to meet with me and give me an interview. They took a chance on me. They hired me back in 1986 when I came to the Air Guard. April Fool's Day, 1986, I enlisted in the Indiana Air National Guard, and it has been a great adventure since then. I'm the Command Chief Master Sergeant for the 181st Intelligence Wing. What do I do? Man, my job is more vast and diverse on a daily basis than I could have ever imagined. I will say that, and I tell this story often, is that this is a job I never aspired to have. I didn't necessarily ever want, but a job that I felt like I was called to do, and in doing so, I have. It's been a way to round out my career like I could have never imagined. Taking the desire to network and talk with people, and to work with people, to help people, to listen to people. It's taken that to a level that I could have never imagined. As a young NCO or young airman driving on this base, would have never imagined it. The highlights are the friendships I've made. The highlights are the people that I've gotten to talk with. The highlights are the lifelong friends that I have. Making those connections with people. Your best ability is your availability, and I think to take that and parlay it into and invest in our fellow racers has probably been the highlight. And I could go on a list of 100 of meaningful relationships and conversations that I've had just in the past few years that I will take from here as probably some of my most cherished memories and highlights. I think if I had to sum it up, I would say that I've been given more than I could have ever given. And I think that it has been, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of hard work. At times, it was every bit of energy I had, and it was a lot of sacrifice. Mostly from my family, and as we recognize the families that serve with us, again, my wife and I talk about, being deployed and not being at home and being on trips, and I think that if we just stop and think about, if we're going to make a decision about our career, how does that affect our families? And that family could be a family that you serve with. That family could be someone that you closely associate with. It could be your nuclear family, your biological family, your spouse, your children. How does that affect them? And I think to take them into consideration and ask them about, is this something we should do together? I think it's something that we may overlook. Just because someone thinks you should go do something doesn't necessarily mean you should. I think you need to figure out what's best for you and how you can contribute and when. And I think it's okay to say, I can do this, and this is when I can do it. I am Command Chief Master Sergeant Chris Durcholz, and this is my 181 story.